for what they do. For more information about their services or to discuss an upcoming project, visit www.ironhideconstruction.com or call 402-420-4961.
The Mill Coffee and Tea, formerly with only 4 Lincoln locations, now 5 Lincoln locations. That's 25% more locations than there used to be. Can you even imagine a world where there's only 4 Lincoln Mill locations? Feels like ages ago. We were all so young then. The Mill on 11, located right alongside the 93.7 The Ticket Studios at 1040 O Street.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Sandhills Global is hiring. With their fast-paced, growing culture, they have hundreds of new openings in sales, marketing, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Full-time roles offer a 4.5-day work week, along with flexible internships in most areas. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Find your fit today at www.sandhills.jobs.
24/7 threat monitoring, expert tech support, streamlined communications. Allo has a solution for that. Protect your business with Allo Business. Comprehensive firewall security, Microsoft Teams voice-integrated communications, cybersecurity and IT support managed by experts. From productivity to peace of mind, Allo has a solution for that. Allo means business. Protect your business by visiting allofiber.com/business.
Load up on meat and more this summer at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's special through July 2nd is 20% off grass-fed New York strips. Plus, buy a mystery box and get 3 New York strips free. Also, buy 1 salami, get 1 50% off. Locations at 84th and Havelock and 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town. Tune in to the Teammates Mentoring Hour each Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket. Hear stories from a program started by Tom and Nancy Osborne and how it's changed mentors and mentees' lives and how you can be involved. The Teammates Mentoring Hour, Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. Jay Foreman, DP, Austin, the crew. We are Old School, brought to you by the Mercado, Certified Piedmontese, Special Ingredients and Butcher Shop, 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, 168th and Maple up there in the O. A lot going on. Obviously, we got the NBA draft. We got some NFL news, and obviously we got some Husker news. But, DP, Austin sent me this tweet, and it says, we'll jump right into it because I think it's really rather interesting. It's rookie QBs put in impossible situations, and we're going to rank them 1 through 5. Okay, and here's Trevor Lawrence, David Carr, Tim Couch, Joey Harrington, and number 5 is also interesting. And there's a backstory to it, and the personality differences as well with this player and the head coach, Terry Bradshaw.
Yep.
Look, obviously, I have firsthand experience with David Carr. I played against Joey Harrington and Tim Couch. I know about the Terry Bradshaw situation. We were watching Trevor Lawrence's situation play out before our eyes. What do you think?
Well, I want to add RG3 to it.
Well, yeah.
You're walking into a factory, and then in the same round, you draft Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, I mean, that should be – well, that's just –
like that.
And you draft a quarterback that plays the quarterback position that you don't play.
Right.
Distinctly different.
Like, literally, you were not married to the idea.
You got undermined right on the draft.
Right,
But
right at the get-go.
Yeah.
Bradshaw, similar deal. Well, only in that Bradshaw knew that he was in a competition. He knew that he was in a battle. He knew that Joe Gilliam was something else.
Yeah.
Like, he knew this is a problem. This dude throws the ball better than I do.
And it's actually probably the reverse. Joe Gilliam was the better. It's hard to say because Terry Bradshaw ended up being a Hall of Famer. But at that time, I think Gilliam was better. He just had.
Well, he beat him out.
Well,
he beat
yeah,
him out 2 years in a row.
Right. He just had off the field issues. We'll just call those O Street issues.
He had those Jefferson Street issues.
Yeah.
That's why they called him Jefferson Street Joe.
Yeah.
If you're looking for him, go.
That's where you can find him. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah. I mean, it really is that thing that often we do this. Another one that you can put in the. Here's the thing: you can find bad organization.
You can say anybody that played for the Cardinals.
Anybody? Well, we went through it. The Browns,
Bears.
If a quarterback got drafted by the Browns and Bears, he was in a bad situation.
Yeah.
If you're Heath Schuler and you're coming off a Super Bowl MVP with maybe one of the top 5 receiver groups in history in the posse, and then you're coming in to replace a Super Bowl MVP. No, that's not built for. You're not built for that. Joe Theismann used to tell his story because coming out of Notre Dame, he was drafted by the Dolphins, and he was supposed to be the replacement for the team perfect Bob Greasy. So what does Joe do? He goes, I can't win that fight like that. No, Greasy's not going to help me. Earl Morrall's not going to help me. I need to go to Canada, and he goes to Canada until he can find his situation, which happened to be in Washington.
Right.
So the NFL is notoriously not kind to rookie quarterbacks.
Yeah, I think the thing is right here with this list, out of the 5, 3 of them went number 1.
Yep.
And so where did Terry Bradshaw get drafted? Joey Harrington was number 3.
Yeah. I mean, I think Bradshaw was 1 or 2.
Yeah. So so you got to think if Terry Bradshaw, let's see right here, you got drafted with 1970. Looks like
70 or 71. Yeah.
Yeah, he went number 1. So out of all these guys here, only person that didn't go number 1 was Joey Harrington.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's where they came up with this list because they're the number 1 picks. And when you're we'll see it tonight in the NBA. A lot of times when you get picked number 1, it's an honor.
It's an honor,
but it's a curse as well.
You're winning the financial
draft.
Yeah. And that's what it is. But there's also a price that has to be paid with it. And not everybody's built for that. Not everybody who came out of it, one, was in a factory. One, you may not have been in a winning situation, so you don't know how to win. Then you're also the eye of envy because all the pros who have been laboring and who have earned their keep, you're new getting new money. Like you're reaping the benefit.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, I think the quarterback position.
It's a hard position to play in the league.
It's the toughest one.
Because number 1, it more times than not in the NFL when you're going number 1, you're going to a team in an organization that's either with a new coach, new regime. So a lot of times they don't know what they're doing.
You're being kind today.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm trying to dress it up. Right? They really don't know what they're doing. And then you're not surrounded by good pieces.
Right.
And now your career is in jeopardy because Peyton Manning and those guys, they had a plan. Bill Polian has been through it before with Jim Kelly. He took that knowledge and all right, I know what I'm going to do. He knew what to do. And with Peyton Manning surround him, then you see, I know Ryan Leaf had some issues off of it, but a lot of it was his own doing, right? And that's his problem. That's a him problem. But there wasn't a lot of offensive talent out there with San Diego. And then you see why Eli made a decision, or him and his dad made a decision not to go to the Chargers, and you go to the Giants. So, I mean, in football, I think being number 1 and first of all, being drafted first round quarterback or being drafted to be the guy is extremely hard. You have an uphill battle because you're going places with not a lot of talent. You got to think the Patriots weren't picking number 1 ever. The Steelers or teams that were winning, they weren't picking number 1. And the guys that usually end up being good or successful sometimes are the guys that go a little bit later because they go to better situations. They're actually probably a better prospect. But, it's like, okay, all the guys that got drafted behind Jamarcus Russell was Jamarcus Russell. And this is nothing against him because I think, again, he went to a horrible situation. He had no veteran leadership, right? And he had only started 8 games. So that's on the Raiders for picking him. But all those guys that went behind, was Jamarcus Russell a better quarterback, not better prospect? Most likely not. And that's why you see a lot of guys fail. There's pressure everywhere. But if you're not used to the pressure, say you came like David Carr coming from Fresno.
You weren't ready.
Right. But I will tell you this. He was a competitor. He had the tools. I was telling you, we cut once I see Kent Graham leave, season's over.
Yeah, that's our.
I mean,
yeah.
You know how they roll down 10th Street and go into the stadium?
Yeah.
When we'd be on the bus, defense would be on the bus. We knew once we got off that bus, if we gave up more than 17 points, there wasn't a chance to win. Straight up. And we playing against Peyton Manning and Steve McNair.
Right. So imagine, and you mentioned the Patriots, because the Patriots had to be bad for such a long run in the 70s that they had to get better. Like they were, think about it. They drew Bledsoe in 93. Irving Fryer went there, Ken Sims, Jim Plunkett. Like you were getting top-notch guys. And John Hanna, like you had to go through and be really bad for a long stretch.
Where you only had like one good player. You had Andre Tippett and those guys. And with Bledsoe, they were competitive. I mean, but they weren't where they're at.
They weren't this version of it. There's certain franchises that are just a little bit worse at judging and evaluating who should be their leader. And at the quarterback position, not every good quarterback is meant for you. You and your system, you and your town, you and your city, media, you and the nightlife. Let's talk to young Mr. Wilson.
Right. You took the words right out of my mouth. We said it when he went number 2. Like that is the worst pick. That's the worst pick. Dude, you coming from Utah. Okay.
Wait a minute. He came from Provo.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I was just being nice and saying you came from Utah, and you going to New York City.
That is like saying, "Hey, he's from Nebraska." Say he's from Omaha when he's from Nebraska.
Yeah.
No, they ain't necessarily the same.
Yeah. I mean, and so it's. I mean, a lot of that stuff is like, these evaluators, they fall in love with one thing. It's like with Johnny Manziel, what was it? He did his pro day with his pads on, and everybody's like, it was the best pro day ever. Look, because he had his pads on?
Well, no, because he danced at the end.
No, it was because he had his pads on.
He was cool white dude when he got done. Him and Baker Mayfield. Yeah. That was the thing.
But Baker got that. He got that.
He's got that other swag. Yeah, he's got another level. Yeah. He's got another level. He hit it. He hit it hard.
Yeah.
And everybody bought into it. It's the Ryan Leaf thing was amplified because of who else they could have taken. You could have gotten it right.
Yeah.
You could have done the work to get it right. And the real problem is this, and we've talked about it on air, but I'll say it again, that the problem with administrators and scout evaluators is that they look from their eyes rather than what the team needs. There are people that if you're making a first round draft pick, they mocked it in clipped, right? With the Clippers and Sterling and Blake Griffin.
Yeah.
And you say that who do they want to hang out with?
Yeah.
Who do they want to go play golf with? Who do they want to introduce to their friends? Who do they want to be close buddies to?
We've seen it with we could have had Julius Peppers and we took David Carr. I remember, Mr. Greer when I was leaving Houston, and I knew him prior because he had a relationship with my dad, and when I'd see him, I was very cordial, but we never talked anything, and obviously until I was leaving Houston, right? And actually, he came over the house or whatever, and we, I can say it now, we were having a couple Jack and Cokes, kicking back. And he looked at me. He's like, "Is there anything you want me to ask, or you want to ask me?" And my agent always told me this one thing, and it was really enlightening. It was the hardest thing to hear, and he was like, the relationship with football is like a relationship, and when it ends, you will never know why, because it's probably not for the right reasons, right? The the whole it's me, not you thing.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I remember asking him one time why somebody got cut. He's like, I've asked 4 people that I got 4 different answers. I really don't know. Seriously. Right? And then and so part of me wanted to ask Bobby, like, all right, man, like, who was in that room when I went into surgery and was supposed to be a scope, and the next thing you know, I'm out 6. Like, who did that? Because I gotta go see him, right? That's what
somebody did it on purpose.
Right. So that's what I wanted to ask him. But then I was like, you know what? That's not the question I asked. I asked him, like, why did you pick David Carr versus Julius Peppers? And he's like, they're both great prospects. Obviously, Julius is obviously a Hall of Famer.
Which I don't understand that comment either.
Well, David. Well, I would tell you. Listen, David Carr had everything. I'm telling you, and I will go to the grave for it. He was a hard worker. Mm-hmm. He was a tough dude. He had arm talent. He tried. He just didn't have anybody. By the time he got Andre, he was already looking. He was already looking for jabs, and here comes the overhand right. He was punched drunk. I mean, he got sacked 82 times, dude. And one that's official sacks,
right?
And you know what he
told me? That's not pressures hits,
right.
Just because.
Right. He told me, he said, I think it was Charlie Castle said David Carr for the first pick in Houston Texans history. He was already married. Great. Listen, his wife and family, and his dad is super cool. He's smooth operator. That's what they wanted to be the look.
They got exactly what they
and versus Julius Peppers. At that time, he might have had like dreads and stuff like that, and he was real quiet. And remember, he wore the visor. Probably wasn't as. But here's what's funny about the NFL. They made that mistake. Here comes Mario Williams, and you could have had Reggie Bush, and they went with Mario. Now Mario Williams was a really good player. I think his knee got bad and got bone on bone. So because he was good in Miami. But that's why they picked Mario Williams, and you could have had Reggie Bush.
I want to just rattle off some names for you, and just to say how.
Here we go.
Ready for this?
DP with the list.
No,
that's your new nickname. It's not Lamont. It's DP the list. Pearson.
The list. Yeah. That Todd Blackledge and the Chiefs at number 1. At number 1,
he went number 1.
He went. That Blaine Gabbert.
Yes.
Remember
they were saying he was better than Cam.
Blaine Gabbert. That used it. Listen, this dude was so bad. We still don't know how to pronounce his name. The JP is it Losman or Losman for the Bills?
I've always heard Losman.
Losman.
Right,
Lost.
Like we really never figured out that this was really a thing. But we're still trying to figure out. Of course, Ryan Leaf and what he was and could have been. Some will say Kerry Collins was a terrible number 1 pick. But Carolina did exactly what Houston did, which was for this market, we need a poster boy. We need somebody that we can rally around, somebody we can sell tickets to, and otherwise. Good looking guy. Women love him, right? They even did their panel studies, right? Asking women's season ticket holders, the people who bought tickets
about Kerry Collins.
And they were all like, oh, what a handsome man. And I would let him date my daughter.
He looked like a truck driver.
Well, guess what? They all said they would let him date their daughter. They did. And that's why it's amazing how many of those happen. There's your guy, Cade McNown, which is still one of the
He went to Chicago, right?
Yeah, one of the great
the
stories.
lefty, right?
Yeah. And then, of course, the mayor, Heath Schuler. In Washington at number 5. But it's always interesting that the people who are choose for them and not the fans. They choose for themselves, right? Yeah. That it happens way too often that they pick, that's the guy who's, if they can't see him, and it'll happen tonight. If they can't see him on the game program, if they can't see him on the ticket, it'll get in the way. They have to be able to see them and want to go play golf with them.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, it's not only that; it's also free agent signings and stuff like that. I think they just do. I would say this, I love my time in Houston. I always say it. If I didn't live here, I'd live in Houston. I love Houston. I loved it. Oddly enough, I like the people in Houston, Texas.
I like them. Becky did not so much.
They were just like just
I was
good
fine
old
with
boys. They're more kind of blue collar. They kicked it away, and it was a good melting pot versus I feel like Dallas is more what you expect. Dallas, it's more University of Texas.
It's
snooty.
Austin versus Dallas.
Yeah,
and people miss it. Those two are not
extremely
Austin versus straight. Wait,
100%.
Anyways, the one thing that as I've gotten old, obviously older, and you start to look at football a lot differently. You start to think back on the time, especially in Houston, and we had great players. I mean, obviously Andre's going into the Hall of Fame this year, and we had really good players and had good leadership and all that. And then you look at some of the players that we either drafted or signed in free agency. And it really ranked, kind of came true. Was what teams do? It's like, just say we need a receiver, right? They just sign anybody. Oh, you're a receiver? Your agent called? What's he looking for? We want this. Okay, we'll sign you. But he doesn't fit the system. He doesn't fit the locker room. He doesn't fit the city. And then when it doesn't work out, it's always the player's fault.
Yeah, where do we go wrong?
Because none of those guys. Because here's the great thing about it is when picks like Peyton Manning or Tom Brady or the guys like whoever drafted Charles Haley and Gil Brandt made obviously he's a Hall of Fame evaluator. When those things work out, you know what I'm saying? They're at the forefront. But the guy that drafted Brandon Weeding or Johnny Manziel or so-and-so or Kay McNown or whoever. Chris Winkie or J.P. Lossman. Right. And what's the other dude? Brandon Peterman. And what's the other dude?
Nathan Peterman.
Peterman.
Oh, Peterman.
And what's the other quarterback? All those guys,
they had a
Brady
run.
Quinn, Matt Weinert.
All those guys.
They had a run.
Those guys
all of the Florida quarterbacks.
But they're never around. And so that's just the way it is. And tonight would be no different. But it's always interesting to look back on the time with those quarterbacks. All of them, those 5 that we mentioned, and obviously and RG3, distinctly different. And I remember also, here's the flip side. You remember when Seattle signed Matt Flynn, who had played backed up or came in and won a couple games to $10 million a year. And then you go and you draft Russell Wilson. And then Russell Wilson ends up starting. It's no different than RG3 getting drafted. Essentially, you're drafting RG3 top 3 or 2 or whatever. This is your dude.
And gave away a bunch to do it.
And then you turn around and say, okay, well, we're going to draft Kirk Cousins because he's there. You're undermining that man's career from the get-go. And here's the thing about David Carr that lets you know that he was actually a legitimate player. He went to Carolina and won some games and played a really good football. And he also won a Super Bowl ring with the Giants. And he ended up playing a long time. So he
made one bad throw against in Super Bowl that changes his legacy.
Yeah. And so, but the thing about David, he always said, when he went to the Giants and backed up Eli, he's like, I'm actually learning how to play quarterback. He's on the way out the league. And so it's just amazing how that stuff happens. But anyways, good first segment. We're going to come back, talk a little, Husker news and see what's up. We'll also see if we can get the audio of my man that left Texas A&M. I think I will say this in pro sports, when they ask the GM, do you have job security? And he says, yes, you're fired. Right? I mean, it's the way it is, right? They always do it in the NFL. Then you got the GM's like A-OK, and then you're on, was it Black Monday? Anytime a coach says, I'm staying here forever, he gone.
It's Frito.
Yeah.
It's free.
So anyways, good first segment. Hump Day, Wednesday, Jay Foreman, DP, Austin, Old School. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and Jay. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Clothes dryer not drying like it should? Could be your dryer vent. Call Bryant for a professional cleaning. 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in, temperature-controlled, high-end wine bar. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting book. There's only one place to go for all your needs for wine, beer, spirits, and cigars. Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here. Summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Community means something different to everyone. But for me, it means cheering on those around you during the good times and helping them out during the tough times. I'm softball player Jordy Ball, and I've been blessed with the support of my friends, family, coaches, and community throughout my life. When looking for a bank to call home, it was easy to choose Midwest Bank. I never feel like just another customer, and they're proud to support their communities. They love what they do, and it shows. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank.
Load up on meat and more this summer at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's special through July 2nd is 20% off grass-fed New York strips. Plus, buy a mystery box and get 3 New York strips free. Also, buy 1 salami, get 1 50% off. Locations at 84th and Havelock and 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Your child was embarrassed when you arrived at their basketball game. 75% of parents or guardians report current alcohol use. Drinking alcohol can cause harm to children and loved ones. By drinking less, your child will be excited to see you at their basketball game. If you or a loved one is looking for help, find a treatment facility near you at findtreatment.gov. For immediate support, call, text, or chat 988.
Brought to you by Nebraska DHHS in partnership with SAMHSA.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road.
By now, most of you know how important the Honda of Lincoln sales and service team are to the Lincoln market. Hello, Charlie Stone here, and joining me is Andy Goodyear from Honda of Lincoln to tell you about the great news they just received. Andy, please tell us all about it.
Each year, the Lincoln Journal-Star has an award program called the Lincoln Choice Award, where the customers in Lincoln get to choose the best places to do business. Great pleasure, I get to announce that Honda of Lincoln has won the award for buying new cars, used cars, automotive repair, and even oil changes.
That is amazing, Andy. Any more good news?
Yes, there is, Charlie. We now have more than 100 new Hondas in stock, with hundreds on the way, and a huge selection of all makes and models on our pre-owned lot.
Incredible. Maybe it's time you come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
On the Block with Strick and Austin.
There's that pit in my stomach. I hope that knot gets untangled and untied so that the Royals can be in contention for the playoffs come late August into September. I'm not holding my breath for it, but before I freak out and lose my mind about how bad things are right now, I'm going to choose to look back at last year and remember how bad 56 and 106 felt.
Weekdays from 2 to 4 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back. Old school. Jay Foreman, Austin Norman. Second segment, 4 o'clock hour. A lot going on, man. And one thing, DP, we'll talk. Do we have the audio from the old boy?
Oh, yes.
Okay, we're gonna play the audio of my man. I just think it's funny though, with it because he tried to get little attitude. Look, you know when your grandma, your aunt say, "Who you snapping your neck at? Who you looking at like that?" That's what he did. Let's hear his press conference. Let's see what I just like this when these dudes say it. Let's hear what he says.
Coach, with respect to the difficult outcome tonight, but with the rumors circulating today about a specific job opening, what do you have to say about your future in Aggieland?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty selfish of you to ask me that question, to be honest with you. But I left my family to be the coach at Texas A&M. I took the job at Texas A&M to never take another job again, and that hasn't changed in my mind. That's unfair to talk about something like that. That'd be like you asking Montgomery if he's going to sign in the draft. But I understand you got to ask the question, but I gave up a big part of my life to come take this job, and I've poured every ounce of my soul in this job, and I've given this job every single ounce I can possibly give it. So write that.
Coach, thank you very much.
He said, "Write that." Yeah, you like that?
You know,
hey, there's so much comedy. The thing that everybody didn't pick up on when he was saying, he talked about Texas A&M in the past tense.
Okay, the charitable interpretation of that is that he was talking about the job this year. I poured everything I had into this year.
Yeah.
Meaning he was just reflective on the season. Now, I think it looks like, it's like yes, most likely he already knew the deal was done. He was talking about it in the past.
That's like Lincoln Riley said that when they asked Lincoln Riley whether he was going to take the LSU job, and he said no.
I will not be the next head coach at LSU.
But I am at USC.
I asked Austin this question earlier today. Why is it that so many of the highest paying jobs and highest paid decision makers are such horrible decision makers? How is it constantly possible that coaches who make terrible decisions in public, because if you make terrible decisions in public, you make it even more in private. So how is it that every high-paying job in the coaching profession is filled by people who make horrible decisions in public? How is it so possible that, you know what the answer? I could ask you, hey Jay, you gonna take a job with the Minnesota Vikings? You know what your answer would be?
No. All right.
Pretty simple.
Yeah.
Pretty simple.
I think these guys get paid so much money that he was dead serious. Like, how dare you ask me about a legitimate rumor? And really,
it wasn't a rumor.
It was already done. But really, if you really wanted to answer it and really be, I guess if he wanted to do it again, said, you know what, look, we had a great season. There's going to be a ton of rumors out there. It's actually a compliment to him to have another job offer. But to be honest with you, if he said, hey, I'm hurting for my team, that's all I want to focus on right now, I'm not going to answer that question. Because he knew he was leaving.
But here's the thing. All of the other stuff is based on the basic premise that you can't tell the truth.
Well, I think contract-wise, he can't. But he could have answered that with a better answer that people would have been okay with and understood, versus saying, hey, this? How dare you ask me this?
How about this? How about you not rely on subterfuge and take a job at another place before you've completed the job you were paid for?
Yeah.
How about that part? How about you don't sign or you don't verbalize an agreement on Friday while you still playing?
He probably didn't think he was going to get there.
No, like there's so much basic stuff in this that we've had this conversation that, listen, the student athletes are just repeating the behavior of the grown-ups in the room. Like, we just simply, if you tell me that money is more important than the job that you're doing, and that's literally what he said. And then today to come back and go, well, that young reporter, don't belittle that dude. Don't do that to him. He's a bigger pro than you are because he actually did his job in full. You did. Yeah. You, the grown-up in the room.
He could have just left it at B. I mean, I think it's a hard situation. He said, you know, if you know the background of him, he always has wanted the Texas job. That's the truth. That he's always wanted it. Before he got to Texas, he's always wanted that job.
Wanted it in 2015, gave it to Pierce instead.
Right. And then his buddy was the AD at TCU, and so it's understandable. It'd be no different if I was coaching at Pittsburgh State. And is that in Kansas? Missouri somewhere. Right?
PITTSBURG.
Yeah.
State
Pittsburgh
is
State.
that
I'm the D coordinator at Pittsburgh State. Now I've been there for however many years, and DP gets the job. I'm gonna go because I always wanted to coach at Nebraska. He just acted a fool, and
Then just say it.
He just taught. He told on himself for no reason.
Then just
And the worst part, he went to Texas.
Just say it. Like you went and then you picked. It's in the song. Say goodbye to Texas. Say goodbye to literally a part of Texas A&M is this. You look, and here's the part. You look Ted. You look Trev dead in the eye. Shook hands, back patted, high five, gig 'em. You did the whole thing, and ain't none of it have any value. None of it has. That tells me that as a dude, listen, you walk into my house, I'm not believing nothing you say about nothing.
Let me ask you this, though. Is this just I think it's just the way business is going to be done. I think, and here's why I think the way it's going to be done. It's all set up by the whole transfer portal. I always joke like these guys can't say they're going to have reunions. Where you gonna take your kids and family around to 4 different places?
OG just said it. He said, sidestep the story rather than lie to my face. Now, no one should trust your word.
Right, exactly.
That constantly and consistently, we can say, just do the right thing. And then, now, mistakes happen, right? Situations happen. I get that. But he tried to ruin a young reporter for simply doing the one thing that reporter was to do. That literally is that.
And he was cool with it. He said, "Look, man, I understand you lost, but like, look, dog, there's rumors out there."
I gotta ask because it showed up all on my phone.
It broke during the game.
That you gone.
When you was down 6-1, it was. I heard about it.
Well, somebody in the building said today that was whenever that moment hits Twitter, social media, that's when you lose the series. That's when your season ends. And they asked him about it today, and his thing was, I want to apologize to the young reporter. No, he's just a reporter. He's just a reporter. You could have done do the grown-up thing, which is to say, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You don't need to attack him. You don't need to belittle him. But here's the thing. At no point, what I need to hear in full, stand with your people. Stand with your Aggies. Stand with them and say, I'm sorry for this going the way that it did. Because that allows me to move forward, allows them to move forward, allows the Aggie Nation to move forward, and otherwise. We said that here in Nebraska. What really irritated people with Trev left was you got a social media post and 2 fingers, deuces out. It would have made much more sense to just say, here's what's going on, here's why, and I gotta go. And allow people to deal with the truth rather than being too good.
Well, you don't want to ever
the nerve of you.
You won't ever give anybody the room to assume.
Yeah.
And I just think it's hard to. I just think this is the way business is going to be done. It's a lot of money. It's everybody's making chess moves or play game of pawns and all that because it's a lot of pressure because they're putting pressure on him to make a decision. He always wanted to go back there, so forth and so on. And I doubt Texas was trying to help him leave Aggie land on the right on the right foot.
Oh, text line is on. Big Bird, you on one, bro? That is.
Let's see what Big Bird says.
Big Bird,
Money G in Kansas, Pittsburgh State Gorillas. What is this?
No, it's the one above that. Big Bird.
Oh, I got it right here.
Yeah, he sent the link that they asked the question.
Look at it.
Listen.
Would you like me to pull it up and play it?
Yeah, pull it up and play it.
Please,
okay.
Look at that smirk,
Hopefully
though. See, that smirk make me want to punch you dead in your face. The first smirk. The first one. He danced. He did a good job dancing around that.
And, music. He just did. Listen, we don't have to call it dancing. He lied.
Yeah, I mean,
like that's an untruth. That's an untruth. And the reality is, we need to start saying that.
But do you think Aggies or people could really handle? He said, "Listen, man, I liked it in Texas. Where is that? Where is that? A College Station.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a little old town. I always wanted to be in Austin. I got the job. I'm out.
Say it.
I mean, I'm saying, do you think people can handle that?
Say it. What they can't handle is the lie. Don't play with me. Don't tell me you were all in
to the last.
Don't tell me you were all in until I'm out. I my flight's already booked. I know where I'm gonna live. I got it all. I got my deposit. The contract is already. The ink is already dry on the contract. Don't tell me you're all that. Don't tell me. Listen, I get that it's snakes in a pit, right? And it's sad that that's what it is now, because it doesn't have to be. I get that it is, but dude, don't look at me and tell me that you're all in. If you're not all in, don't tell me this is your last job. How many coaches take the new job and say, this is my dream job, and then bounce? This is my dream. So your words have no value. You will say whatever is most convenient for you in that situation, which tells me I can't trust you. Tell me the truth. I'll deal with the truth. But hey man, it's one thing to cheat. You went to the neighbor, bro. You went to the neighbor. You went to the next door. You went to the neighbor.
I think that's the worst part. I think that's the worst part. If he went to, I bet you they wouldn't even matter if he went to like Oklahoma or somewhere. I mean, the fact that he went to Texas, I think it stings a lot more. I always say this. When people have like emotional outbursts, which is rightfully so. So that's fine. You can be upset when they have it. And and then when you can really dive into the facts, it's on something underneath. You know what I mean? And underneath is you went to Texas. You left us and went to Texas.
You were talking to Texas while you were in Aggie.
Correct.
You were talking. You were negotiating. Listen, it's one thing to end up in the same space, but you purposefully got to subterfuge to have meaningful conversations with your rival while you were under contract receiving benefit and on the greatest mission of your professional career.
We haven't even mentioned the best part of all of this is that Schlossnagle said that he didn't have substantive conversations with Texas, before the end of the year, but that he was talking with Chris Delcani the whole time. Chris Delcani, his best friend. He's like, we're just having normal friend conversations.
The thing is,
excuse me?
It's no different than Lincoln Riley says, it just came to me in the middle of the night. Remember when he said he came in the middle of the night? We're going
in a dream
or something. Listen, bro, you just got mollywopped the last game at Oklahoma. So you probably going home, drinking a couple beers, and you probably just trying to sleep it off, right? I mean, just kind of, all right, I got to get up. If you didn't leave Oklahoma, you got to have your next day meetings. So you're trying to get a good night's sleep because you are probably going into the office early. So don't tell me that you and your wife and family were talking at 4:00 in the morning. That's humanly important.
You talk to again. What we know about grown men, he had talked to his wife and kids long before this was a thing.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I'm just talking about the night that he said when he said I'm not going to go to LSU. He didn't lie. He didn't lie because he said I'm not going to LSU.
I'm just trying to picture Jay Foreman making a career move like that and his wife finding out on social media. Oh boy, that's going to be a terrible trip you about to go on. You about to have a different conversation.
That's with anybody.
We could find out some different things about Jay Foreman.
Hey, I can tell you, Joyce Garrison would be worse.
Right.
Joyce Garrison. Because here's the problem with my mom. Here's what would be the problem with my mom is she would probably hear from my brother, who always likes to.
Oh, he would be the one. Yeah.
But he likes anything that happens is like, did Jay tell you this? And then because
he would screen grab it and text it to his mother.
Listen, this is exactly what he does. So it'll be anything. And so my brother's a doctor. So he's up early. Like, so he'll call at 4, like, hey, what you doing? Bruh, I was asleep, right? So that's when he hits my mom up. So I can't even count on both hands and feet how many times, hello? And Joyce is like, boy, why didn't you tell me? Well, it's 6:00 here. You reside in Arizona. It is 4. I wasn't thinking about calling. I haven't even got the sleep out of my eyes. That would be the problem.
Oh, I'm just trying to
the co-signing.
I'm just trying to imagine telling Becky that I'm getting on a plane for Connecticut because ESPN did the hookup of all hookups. And it's like, oh, I forgot. Hey, can you I know you didn't know and you got a text, but can you tell Jay? Can you tell Jay?
People have done that though. Heck, what's the dude, Bobby Petrino?
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
Bobby Petrino left in the middle of the night.
He left a memo.
Yeah,
right. He didn't even come in after the game. I think he put it on the
Dana
chair.
did that same sort of thing to Arkansas. Like, nope, this is a bad decision.
It's your boy from the movie from Harlem Nights. Hey, yo, Doris. I'm never coming home.
Where are you? Don't worry about it. I'm in places unknown. Anyways, man, we're gonna take a quick break. Come back. Jay Foreman, DP, Austin Norman. We'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Ready to score big with your projects? Look no further than Edward Stone, the MVP of natural stone for over 2 decades. Edward Stone is cranking out over 30,000 square feet every week and offers a winning lineup of over 70 quality natural veneer stone selections. Their unbeatable variety and experienced team will ensure your project is a success, whether it's a home renovation or a commercial build. And hey, they're not just about stone. They've got an all-star lineup of fireplaces, cast stone, brick, and much more. Swing by one of their locations in Lincoln or Omaha today and experience the Edward Stone difference, your reliable choice for over 20 years.
For over 15 years, Integrated Life Choices has empowered individuals with disabilities in Lincoln and throughout Nebraska. They provide comprehensive services from group homes and independent living services to job training, ensuring fulfilling lives for those that they serve. Now, they're inviting you to join their mission. If you're passionate about making a difference in the lives of people with developmental disabilities, explore rewarding career opportunities with them. Learn more about their services and apply today at www.ilc.net. Be a part of Integrated Life Choices, where your work truly changes lives. Tune in to the Teammates Mentoring Hour each Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket. Hear stories from a program started by Tom and Nancy Osborne and how it's changed mentors and mentees' lives and how you can be involved. The Teammates Mentoring Hour, Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Community means something different to everyone. But for me, it means cheering on those around you during the good times and helping them out during the tough times. I'm softball player Jordy Ball, and I've been blessed with the support of my friends, family, coaches, and community throughout my life. When looking for a bank to call home, it was easy to choose Midwest Bank. I never feel like just another customer, and they're proud to support their communities. They love what they do, and it shows. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank.
Play ball! Tired of the same old routine? Then bring your crew out to Haymarket Park for a thrilling season of Lincoln Salt Dogs baseball and unleash the fun. Enjoy action-packed home games all week long from May through August. It's the perfect change-up to the typical family night or makes for a home run outing with friends and coworkers. Experience the magic and get in on the excitement. Visit saltdogs.com to secure your tickets now. Unleash the fun.
Husker fans, the 2024 Nebraska football season is right around the corner, and they need your support in Memorial Stadium this fall. You can now purchase a Husker football 3-game mini plan for only $170. This plan includes tickets to the UTEP or Northern Iowa, plus Illinois or Rutgers, and either UCLA or Wisconsin games. Tickets are only available while supplies last. To purchase your Husker football 3-game mini plan today, or for more information, visit huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red.
Clothes dryer not drying like it should? Could be your dryer vent. Call Bryant for a professional cleaning. 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Join us each Saturday from 11 a.m. to noon for Youth Football 101 with Tank Perry of the Nebraska Red Wolves of 7-on-7 football. The future of the sport depends on the foundation set at a young age. Hear those stories and more each Saturday from 11 a.m. to noon here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and right now they are offering huge, and I mean huge discounts at Koppel. Get over $9,000 off list price or 1.9% financing on select Sierras or Silverados, plus Costco members receive another $1,000 off. Yes, that's happening right now in Louisville. $9,000 off list price or 1.9% financing. You pick what works for you. Costco members, please contact us at the store or at koppelcars.com. All deals with approved credit must trade and finance.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
The Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see decreasing cloud cover throughout the day with an afternoon high around 88. Tonight, a chance of showers and storms late, otherwise mostly clear with the low around 66. And tomorrow, we'll see a chance of showers and storms throughout the day with the high around 83. And meteorologist Kyle Clicker from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Well, we're back. Jay Foreman, Austin Orman, DP. A lot of stuff going on. Top of the 5 o'clock hour, we'll jump into the NBA draft. But real quick, my man Merritt chose Bama over Huskers. I don't think the door is closed on that, though. I don't think the door is closed. I got a sneaky feeling that there might be a little bit of a round 2.
Is that linebacker to linebacker? Reading tea leaves?
I think sometimes in the way that some of the coaches on Bama, they when they pressure you, you make a decision, and then once you get a chance to kind of think about some stuff, things will change. Things will change. Now it's predicated on Nebraska playing well. Nebraska plays well. I guarantee his name's going to come back up. But I wanted to ask you too, especially more specifically, DP. The ruling came down. Now you essentially can have. There's no blockage of full-time coaches now. How do you, if you were a head coach, would you take full advantage of it? Because sometimes guys have ulterior motives. Would you have more consultants, kind of, like how when Marvin Lewis was with Herman Edwards and stuff like that? How would you go about that?
So if my operational guidelines work, I mean they're good, I can bring on more good people. I don't need to bring on more people just for the sake of bringing on more people.
Yeah, for sure.
If I have it under control, and in that I have the right people in place. If my process for picking coaches is good, more is better.
Right.
If my process for picking coaches is not good, it is you're putting unnecessary item, as you said, you're putting lettuce in the jello.
Yeah.
It's not going to add to it. It's not going to make it better. Matter of fact, it's going to be distracting and make it worse. If you truly believe, and you can tell me that you want to add a tight ends coach, okay? Is the tight end coach going to make you better? Running backs coach, inside linebackers, outside linebackers, safety, corners, special teams, kick return, individual items that will make you better. If you're going to hire well, and you have the money. Now, again, I keep asking this question. I don't know what Nebraska is. So when it comes to Nebraska, I can name 20 guys who I think would help the program on a regular, consistent basis. Do they think there are 20 good coaches available to them to make them better? That's the real statement. Because there's some coaches that don't want superstar coaches around them. There are coaches that want to be the smartest in the room. They don't want to be held accountable. There are coaches that want to just, you know what? I want to show up and I want to get by, and I'll take checks, and whatever checks I get, I'll help some of my boys get paid.
Yeah.
But you're not trying to get better.
Yeah, I think if like you said, if you do it right, and it's a good way to kind of, I think it helps you develop your coaching tree faster. I think you can kind of actually spread I call it bandwidth. Say I'm a coach, and you almost can multiply coaches, right? So, but if DP is a senior advisor for, say, running backs or whatever, and Austin's the running back coach, I already know I got you. So if I need you to step into full-time running back coach when he leaves, but then it allows me to pick Austin's replacement to come up the tree, because I know I'm going to have you as associate head coach, so forth and so on. Then you're spreading your family tree, ideally, if everything goes well, throughout the nation. But then I also think that you can get a lot more done in less time and have a bigger return on your investment, which is obviously wins and losses, when you're bringing in, like you said, good people, good coaches, and everybody's on board. Because let's just take, for instance, when I went to Buffalo, right? We ran a 3-4. So that's 4 linebackers out there. So then you have the 4 backups. Then you might have 2 more. You might carry 10 linebackers. So if you have a outside linebacker coach, pass rush specialist coach, and assistant coach, so forth, and the linebackers as well, you're getting 4 coaches coaching essentially 8 players. It's kind of like being in a smaller classroom. And then you can get, you can develop guys faster. You can obviously, ideally, you like this, you can get more done. You can get into the fun stuff where you're really thinking about how to really dissect and beat an opponent. I don't know how it would affect the recruiting. I don't know if you can only send out the 10 full-time. I don't know how that works.
Right now, it's still, you only have the 11.
11 to go. Yeah. Well, that's fine. But and then you can get some guys that, okay, look, I can bring in I don't know.
Well, it's what
Charlie
your
McBride or something like that.
It's whatever your shortfall is. If you are purposeful in replacing that thing that you need, rather than the thing that you want, and I think that's how good coaching staffs are built and bad coaching staffs are built. Are you recruiting and signing the people that you want versus the people you need? Sometimes the people that you need will resist you in a thing. That yes men aren't always good.
Yeah.
Right? Having people that will co-sign and set boundary for you and protect you from the media and protect you from coaches, from parents, having conversations with parents, and hey, you go handle that. Sometimes you need somebody to stand up to you and tell you that's a really bad idea.
Yeah, I mean,
right? And not many good coaches, great coaches need that.
Yeah.
Good coaches to average coaches don't always want somebody to lean against.
That's a great statement. That's a true statement. I mean, I'm just thinking, like, if I was a young defensive coordinator at, I don't know, like NC State or something like that, and I was going to implement, a little bit of 3-4 or whatever. And I know Dom Capers is still in the NFL, but say when we're in Carolinas, and that's where Dom, has a residence. For him, if I hire him as a senior consultant for the defense, he doesn't got to recruit.
Yep.
He doesn't have to actually mingle with parents. He's actually, what Dom does well, sitting in the lab and dissecting defenses, and and then he's also teaching me, though.
It's like, hey, Jay, and you go, yeah. My eyes are open.
Yeah.
Because there are people that in your circle that if they go, hey, Jay, you go, what is this?
Right.
Right. And it's a difference. Like I can say the best staffs that I've been on were ones where my job, they didn't need me as an X and O guy, even though I'm a pretty good X and O guy.
Right.
They needed me as a personnel guy.
Yeah.
Like my ability to talk to players and get them to maneuver and to get in their headspace. It was there. They didn't need me on the staff.
Yeah.
I added value to it, and I never distracted.
Yeah.
I never took
That's
away
huge
from
too.
it, right?
Yeah, that's huge.
That lack of distraction is important.
I think you might see a resurgence of older coaches that kind of either on their way out or kind of were overlooked because of their age. I think it would be smart to get those guys in. I'm just thinking, if I had Dom, I have obviously a ton of respect for him, or Wade or somebody like that. Even Greg Williams. Yes, we're talking X's and O's, but they're teaching you how you're accelerating me, if I was a young coordinator, to go from a average to good coach to possibly good to great coach.
Removing blind spots.
Right.
Removing blind spots.
With-
Hey, Jay, you might be missing this one. Just
Right.
keep that in mind.
Yeah, and that's huge. And you saw a little bit of it last year, potentially when Jim Leonard went to Illinois. Didn't work out as well as they, thought so. But I think that was, something to see in the future. So we're going to take a quick break, come back. We're going to dive fully into this draft that's going to start in a little bit under an hour. Jay Foreman, DP, Austin, Old School. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Load up on meat and more this summer at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's special through July 2nd is 20% off grass-fed New York strips. Plus, buy a mystery box and get 3 New York strips free. Also, buy 1 salami, get 1 50% off. Locations at 84th and Havelock and 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
It's the best time of the year to order a new John Deere planter from Landmark Implement during the early order program. Plant for success with the industry's latest technology. Upgrade to an exactly merged high-speed planter to cover more acres, increasing flexibility and productivity. Now is the time to lock in the best price of the year. Contact your local Landmark location to order your new John Deere planter and experience the Landmark difference.
Community means something different to everyone. But for me, it means cheering on those around you during the good times and helping them out during the tough times. I'm softball player Jordy Ball, and I've been blessed with the support of my friends, family, coaches, and community throughout my life. When looking for a bank to call home, it was easy to choose Midwest Bank. I never feel like just another customer, and they're proud to support their communities. They love what they do, and it shows. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals in everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
Join us each Saturday from 11 a.m. to noon for Youth Football 101 with Tank Perry of the Nebraska Red Wolves of 7-on-7 football. The future of the sport depends on the foundation set at a young age. Hear those stories and more each Saturday from 11 a.m. to noon here on 93.7 The Ticket. The weather is hot, the kids are out of school, and you're on your way to the lake and summer road trips. Are you getting to your vacation spot comfortably, or is your car letting you down? Mullen Motors lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride for summer road trips and beyond. Mullen Motors.
No tag-ons, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in, temperature-controlled, high-end wine bar. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for wine, beer, spirits, and cigars. Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln. Gaina Trucking is hiring for heavy equipment operators and a heavy equipment mechanic. Working at Gaina Trucking is a great career with excellent team culture, with benefits package including competitive pay based on experience, health, vision, and dental insurance, and a 401k plan. If you're looking for a new job as a heavy equipment operator or mechanic, apply online at GainaTrucking.com or call 402-794-5000. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Whether you like fishing together or fishing to get away, for the thrill of reeling in a big one, or just going out to have a good time, on the banks of your local pond, at a bend in a river, or on one of our many lakes and reservoirs, you'll always find the perfect place to cast a line. Here, beneath Nebraska skies. Start planning your next fishing adventure today at letsfishnebraska.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up, 5 o'clock hour, Jay Foreman, DP, Austin Orman, Old School. We are live in effect, 1040 O Street on this beautiful Wednesday. We are brought to you by the Mercado, Certified Piedmontese, Special Ingredients Butcher Shop, 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, 168th and Maple up there in the O. NBA talk, because the draft is tonight. A lot of lives will change, and a lot of franchises will hopefully either change or get worse. But before that, DP, haven't been able to ask you. Finally, the Lakers decided to hire a coach. I want to ask you, what are your thoughts on J.J. Redick being the new Lakers coach?
It's great for off season. It's a great conversation piece. I don't want to say I don't care, but all of this kind of bores me. Is that a fair thing to say, that it seems like a manufactured soap opera?
Like forced.
Yeah, what are you doing? What are you doing? If to tell me that JJ Redick is the best NBA available coach makes a statement. Well, what was everybody else doing?
Right.
Like what are you even doing? And so I don't know. Like he's JJ. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'll watch you, see what you do, but am I moved by it? No, not particularly. Not particularly.
Yeah, I think. For me, I think it's a wait and see. I think the Lakers. The Lakers are pretty much like the Cowboys, right? If you really, I'm a Lakers fan. I've been a Lakers fan forever, but the way they went about it, they threw it out there, and they were probably going to try to make a really big run for Jason Kidd. Dallas said, not so fast. We're going to re-up you and bring you back. They had some other guys. I don't really think they were really interested in Hurley. I think Hurley, you pimped them to get more money. And I think the Lakers did it to throw up the smoke screen that they are actually out there trying to hire a big-time coach.
But why would they allow, again, this is part of the problem with the Lakers and part of this whole process. Why would you allow yourself? Why would the Lakers, one of the Mount Rushmore organizations in all of pro sports, allow themselves to be pimped by anybody who's not in the game and at the top of the game? Why would you allow that? Why are you so disconnected and so disorganized and so carrying so much low self-esteem that you allow a non-NBA coach, two of them, as a matter of fact, to be your focus and to pimp you? I guess I can't speak for them that they actually got pimped. I think
I'll retract that. I think they put out the perception that they were really trying to hire Hurley, or Jay Wright. They put out the perception. I don't think they actively were. So I don't think Hurley pimped them. I think he really was somewhat interested. He got on a flight and went out there. But I think if you're going to try to get her a two-time national champion, right, to move to move and leave a comfortable situation, you're gonna have to overpay him. It's no different if I'm trying to draft you and I'm the Minnesota Twins GM and you're coming out of high school. I got to pay you more because you're a high school player. They were not serious about getting him. They were not serious about Jay Wright, or else they would have done it because enough money would have got him out there. The thing that was so interesting to me is you could have got I'm assuming you could got Monty Williams on like a discount, right? Because Detroit was paying him a boatload of money, or you could have cost shared. It seemed like that wasn't an option. I do think JJ Redick knows the game. He knows the game. He's going to have to get a good staff. I think the Lakers are an example of Rob Pelinka, who got the job by being Kobe's, agent, is just inept at doing his job right now.
Well, I mean, you said a thing that they weren't serious about what they were doing.
I just think if you didn't offer what was the numbers?
No, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Like, I think you're right that they weren't serious, but that's how you got in this situation.
Right.
They offered Hurley 6 and 70.
Right.
To leave UConn.
Right. You probably had to have been 6 and.
So he was looking for 8 and 100.
Right.
Out of it.
Yeah.
You're not doing serious business. You're the Lakers, and you're not doing serious business. Your arch rivals are winning the NBA title and doing real, grown, serious business. And you are over here having a circus.
Yeah.
You are over here with clown shoes on and a honking nose. Like, what? Look at us.
Don't forget the wig.
Right?
Yeah.
Please look at us. Please look at us. We're doing something.
As
Aren't we interesting? Aren't we interesting?
Yeah.
Aren't we cute? But you're not being serious.
Yeah.
Because serious would say, look, I'll give the Knicks more credit. At least you had a plan, a proactive plan. And here's what we need to beat the Celtics. We talked about this.
Yeah.
What were the folks right behind the Celtics going to do? Well, the Lakers are way behind the Celtics. And what are they doing? They're hosting a 3-ring circus. And they're not doing serious business.
Yeah.
So we'll see tonight, because tonight will tell you a lot about what they're going to do, because they have to be active tonight.
In some form or fashion, they don't, but they can't. They don't have the ammo to be active. That's where.
Well, you got the same future draft picks the Knicks had.
The Lakers don't, right? Austin, they don't
They
have
have
much, right?
3 of the 4.
Let me dig real quick.
Yeah, 3 of the 4.
I know they're picking late this year in the first round. I just think the Lakers are.
They're the Lakers.
They're the Lakers. I
They're
think
the Lakers.
they're like the Cowboys.
Yeah,
it's
they're
like
the
the Cowboys ain't not signing about the signing back their free agents. You're out there just everybody on a 1-year deal. Like, dude, that's not the way the NFL is going. So, but I do think JJ Redick, if allowed the time and opportunity, will eventually be a good NBA coach. It's just very new to it and surprising that they hired him.
I'm cool with sitting back watching.
Yeah.
All right, the Lakers have 17 and 55 this year. And I think one other second. I'm not seeing where it's at. The Knicks, on the other hand, this year, New York, that's New Orleans. They have one of Dallas's first and a second from Utah. So they have 24, 25, and 38.
Yeah, but so you got to count Bridges in as part of the Knicks draft.
Mm-hmm.
So they're 10 steps ahead of the Lakers and everybody else. Now, really, when you think about it, now the pressure's on Philly. Now, what's Philly going to do? They've been connected with Paul George. Then it comes back to the West Coast. What's Golden State going to do? Is it going to be emotional? They already setting you up for that. They're not going to sign Clay back. DP talked about the Texas coach, right? Just be honest. Why are you saying this is going to be emotional? You had all offseason to talk to this man. Klay Thompson probably resides within 30 miles of your facilities.
He rides his boat to work sometimes.
Right. Are you trying to tell me you haven't checked his temperature and the landscape of what he wants? This dude's been in your building for I don't know how many years. Tell him either you're going to bring him back or not. Just cut the cord or bring him back. it's going to be interesting. I think there's going to be a little. I think at the beginning, the top half of the draft, you'll see some trades.
What if Durant and Clay end up in the same place?
Do they like each other?
Does anyone have issues with Clay?
I
feel like you're going to have issues just with Draymond. Clay's just kind of there doing his own thing, isn't he?
Yeah, Clay does his own thing, but they were salty when KD left, though. They had to send Steph out there, but I mean,
KD wants Houston. Rumor has it. So does Houston want Clay as well?
Well, for what you have, right, in Houston being the town where some star power is necessary, absolutely necessary. Big city. There's plenty of stuff going on. If you're not good, or at least not interesting, people will find other stuff to do. They'll go right to the road, watch the Astros. They got young flamethrower down there wearing the Texans. You got a really good women's soccer team. You got
Davis Mills isn't there anymore.
Yeah.
You back it up though.
Right. So listen, if you told me, and again, I'm still trying to figure out why the Wizards aren't at the top of the table. Let KD come home. Let him come home. Like
what pick did they got? Number 2.
They're number 2.
They're gonna take Alex Starr.
And again, this is why I cannot fan for these people.
But do you think KD? Do you think KD would come back and play for the Wizards?
He would come. His mama would meet him at the airport. Listen,
wanted to be right there picking him up,
waiting for him. Come on back here.
So
baby.
What do you do with Poole then? Because KD ain't gonna play with him.
Who cares?
Who's gonna take him?
Would you rather have KD for 2.5, 3 years or Sarr for 7?
KD right now. Let me go.
KD because you got to sell tickets.
Yeah, let me go. It's DC.
I think Sarr is going to give you. I think he's going to be nice.
Listen. If your name not KD, I don't want you more than I want KD. That's like, let's simplify it. I think people get in their own heads, but whatever you can do with number 2, with this number 2 pick, whatever you can do, it's not KD, and it's not right now.
But isn't that what got the Wizards here is going all in on right now?
No,
mediocre in a mediocre way.
No. They that long vision was a whole different problem. Like you had John Wall and Beal and some bodies and didn't think
maximize.
Right.
Yeah.
Like you didn't think enough to lock it down and keep it moving. Fix the things that are fixable. Having a star like KD with some leadership skill. Yeah. I would take that.
What do you got before we get into the mock draft? What do you think happens with James Harden, the Paul Georges? What do you think James Harden does?
I would ask the question about your other, city away from home, Charlotte. I would ask the question because you bought into the ball party, and while he shows flashes, he's always hurt.
Yeah,
he's always hurt. So if you have a contributor, a full-on contributor, somebody that a coach on the floor who can simplify, and then a coach in the locker room who could tell these young cats, "Hey, nah, bro, you can't be here. You can't be at that club on a Tuesday night when you got Golden State the next night." Because he'll be at the club and he'll be able to say he'll know who's in there or not.
I mean, I like it, man. I like the them trying to get somebody, but it's going to be interesting to see what Charlotte does, especially with the change in ownership.
Kelly Eco of The Athletic reported yesterday, Charlotte continues to express interest in acquiring number 3 from Houston, and Houston would want Mark Williams in return, at least.
Yes.
Yeah, well, and that fits for Houston.
Mark's that dude, though.
Because Mark is he's a rebounder, mid-range. Yes, he has a little bit more. He actually has deeper than mid-range. And he's definitely a shot blocker. Mm-hmm. So that allows their young guys to, spread out and do their thing. I mean, I like it for Houston.
I just think that at the top of this thing, it's Atlanta, Washington, Houston, San Antonio, Detroit, Charlotte. All of them need to be active. All of them need to have they can't say no to anything yet. All of them have to consider every offer. And there are too many teams beneath them in that Utah Jazz, Chicago Bulls, OKC Thunder space that are a player or an addition away from moving up a notch in the playoff conversation. So that's how you do it. These teams at the top 6 teams aren't going. Listen, it's going to take a work of art. An absolute masterpiece for them to move up out of these bottom spots.
Right.
I mean, if you're San Antonio, 4 is not good enough. You have to move up to 1 or 2.
We have 4 and 8 if you want to do something.
Right. It has to be a thing that now is the time you dance. Like literally, now it's Pop. And I have a sneaky suspicion that Pop is like, I've got 3 more years. I can't wait for these young dudes. Let me package these, or let me give one to one and one to another, and I'll go get me some dudes who are going to at least make me a threat.
Buford's still the GM, right?
Let me ask you this. This came to my mind, and it's only because he reminds me of the Iceman George Gervin. And you talked about Pop, and everybody respects Pop. What do you think if he packaged the 4 and 8 pick, right? Or one, like say the 4 pick and say a future top, what are they, unprotected or whatever.
They've got
and a player or 2, right?
Yeah, they've got 2
to Phoenix to pair KD with the French Connection, and you still keep 8 and pick your French Connection buddy.
I'd rather have Beal.
Really?
In San Antonio? Yeah.
Pop probably would rather have Beal
over KD.
Yeah.
No way.
KD's a better player. Beal, it would be better for Wemby.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because Phoenix needs to remember that it's Devin Booker's team.
Yeah.
Phoenix has lost that. So Phoenix needs to build around Devin Booker. They need to get back what they can for KD. See what Beal wants to do. I like Beal as a running mate with Booker, but I absolutely take Beal in a heartbeat into San Antonio over KD.
No way.
I would keep Phoenix as is.
Spider-Man in it.
I would keep Phoenix as is. I would take that 22. I'd move up and get me a different playmaker.
I'd trade Grayson Allen to San Antonio. Try to get up there.
Nobody taking it, dude.
You just broke bread with him.
Anybody taking
40% 3-point shooter. Need that around Wemby.
Yeah, where'd he go to school?
What the Spurs need to do is sign Luke Kennard.
Where'd he go to school?
Does that matter?
Yeah.
He's from Jacksonville. Does that count?
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
There, you just told on yourself. I just wonder what superstar tonight is going to get traded.
And it's going to be somebody. There will be somebody traded tonight who's going to be mad.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Like
that ain't going to show.
mad,
You're going to do a Carmelo Anthony, just be there for a day.
Yep. Like mad.
Yeah. That's what I wonder. Who's going to get traded tonight that really doesn't want to be traded, or is superstar to get traded? There's a lot of kind of. You got to think. We just talked about James Harden. You got to think Russell Westbrook too. Like, obviously, not the same score as he was, but still a Hall of Fame player, big personality, big trade. We talked about DeAndre Ayton. He's the perfect trading material because he's still young enough, but the Portland thing hasn't worked. I mean, my man said he couldn't get to work because of the ice storm. You're the only person that didn't show up to practice. You were chilling at the crib. Matter of fact, they probably saw you online playing Call of Duty. Those type of players. Does the Timberwolves move one of their Twin Towers? It didn't look good against Dallas. And whether it's Karl Anthony Towns is the same boat as KD.
Minnesota is going to be so much fun.
You know what I'm saying? So what do you do?
Walker Kessler might be on the move.
I forgot about him.
In Utah?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Utah's busy. Like Utah's got a ton of picks.
Right.
Sexton could be on the move.
Right. Got that interesting.
Detroit's going to be a player though. Because look,
Spurs go get Cade Cunningham.
The Detroit's going to be active, and this is why I think Detroit's going to be active. Trajan Langdon wants to make his presence. And DP talked about it when we talked about number 1 pick in far as like football picks. Trajan Langdon is a new GM. His first year, he's not just going to sit back and just say, you know what, let's just do a snake draft. He's going to be moving and shaking in free agency and, in the draft, or the draft and then free agency. He's already done it, firing the coach, $65 million. And then he hired his old running mate to be a GM, hired him away. So John's
nickname, right?
What?
DP?
What is it?
The Alaskan Assassin.
Yeah.
Oh,
make his presence felt.
I remember that. He was the stiffest brother I ever seen come. He was stiff.
You shoot it though.
Yeah, he was.
The fact that we're talking about Trajan Langdon,
he worked his way up though, man. Give him
2024, like that. We are literally. It took somebody that is a Duke fanatic to inject Trajan Langdon into the conversation in 2024.
He injected himself by firing a coach and giving him $65 million
to not be here.
Who gave him the power?
Who owns Detroit?
Who gave him?
We gotta find him.
Who gave him the power?
I guarantee he doesn't live in Detroit.
Tom Gores.
What is
9.1 billion worth. American billionaire businessman, founder of Platinum Equity, headquartered in Beverly Hills.
There it is.
Became owners in 2011, sole owner circa 2015.
Yeah, see, he playing career mode on NBA 2K.
Boy, he out here. He out here.
Michigan State guy.
He got 2 bottles of red wine, sitting up with his feet up, making decisions. Dreaming of being back at Cameron.
I wonder if this is Rico here. 54-52 says OG and Bridges New York Finals champion. Negative, Ghost Rider. That pattern is full. Knicks ain't never gonna win anything. Anyways, we're gonna take a quick break. Come back. Jay Foreman, Austin Norman, DP. We're gonna dive into some just random sport news today. Anyways, we'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and Jay on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Husker fans, the 2024 Nebraska football season is right around the corner, and they need your support in Memorial Stadium this fall. You can now purchase a Husker football 3-game mini plan for only $170. This plan includes tickets to the UTEP or Northern Iowa, plus Illinois or Rutgers, and either UCLA or Wisconsin games. Tickets are only available while supplies last. To purchase your Husker football 3-game mini plan today, or for more information, visit huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red.
Gaina Trucking is hiring for heavy equipment operators and a heavy equipment mechanic. Working at Gaina Trucking is a great career with excellent team culture, with benefits package including competitive pay based on experience, health, vision, and dental insurance, and a 401k plan. If you're looking for a new job as a heavy equipment operator or mechanic, apply online at GainaTrucking.com or call 402-794-5000. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career, or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road.
Highball Bar in downtown Lincoln is open and located just north of 11th and O Street. Highball Bar offers a vibe and atmosphere like no other, making it the perfect place to grab a drink or beverage. Highball Bar features great events such as Karaoke Sunday, $4 Tito's on Mondays, Jack Daniel's specials on Wednesdays, and much more. Make Highball Bar your go-to spot after a hard day at work or on the weekend. Highball Bar, located at 122 North 11th Street in downtown Lincoln.
At Fairway Meat Market, your family. And as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Now, through June 30th, they have a special deal for ticket listeners only. Tell the Meat Market you'd like to try out their fresh pork and bacon patties. When you do that, you'll get 10 6-ounce patties for just $10 with a limit of 10. You must mention this and the ticket to get the deal. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center just south of 84th and Vanderbilt.
This is Coach Bill Bush. You all know my passion for Nebraska. Having coached all over the country, I can honestly say there is no place like Nebraska. You know where there's also no place like? Midwest Bank. Midwest Bank has proudly served Nebraska for over 70 years, and they're located in 9 different communities. Midwest Bank is ready, willing, and able to meet all your personal, business, and agriculture needs. Your community, your bank, and mine, Midwest Bank. Find out more at Midwest Bank. Member FDIC.
Play ball! Tired of the same old routine? Then bring your crew out to Haymarket Park for a thrilling season of Lincoln Salt Dogs baseball and unleash the fun. Enjoy action-packed home games all week long from May through August. It's the perfect change-up to the typical family night or makes for a home run outing with friends and coworkers. Experience the magic and get in on the excitement. Visit saltdogs.com to secure your tickets now. Unleash the fun.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today. We'll see decreasing cloud cover throughout the day with an afternoon high around 88. Tonight, a chance of showers and storms late, otherwise mostly cleared with the low around 66. Tomorrow, we'll see a chance of showers and storms throughout the day, the high around 83. Meteorologist Kyle Clicker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Join us each Saturday from 11 a.m. to noon for Youth Football 101 with Tank Perry of the Nebraska Red Wolves of 7-on-7 football. The future of the sport depends on the foundation set at a young age. Hear those stories and more each Saturday from 11 a.m. to noon here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Second segment, 5 o'clock hour. Jay Foreman, DP Austin, old school. Gonna jump around a little bit. We haven't checked in on my man AA Ron. We haven't had a discussion about him. I think it's always good to talk about AA Ron. You want to know why, Austin? Because my man AA Ron has the pressure of the world to be successful, and my man's got focused in, man. I mean, he can
Why
have
start
it,
now?
but he's got to. He's got to, man, because I think he's gonna realize, and Zach Wilson learned very early. The honeymoon in New York is over, and you play for the New York Jets. I'm gonna tell you this, and I hope everybody's listening. The difference between the Giants fans and the Jets fans is like night and day. The Jets fans are roguish. So for people out there that don't know what roguish means, download Urban Dictionary or get on Google's Urban Dictionary and just put in roguish or rogue. That's the Jets fans. Why is that important? AA Ron plays for them. You got the pass last year, and you were being the leader in the locker room, which you actually really weren't, because you were saying that you were coming back, so they didn't, trade for a veteran quarterback. So now you got your team is your team. You had your boys in there. You're trying to get David Bakhtiari, trying to get him in there too. You don't come out and perform? What is the DP? You get on the back page, because the New York Post, right?
Front page is other business. Back page is where the real work
right.
is.
So if you get, I didn't realize that. Usually in the front page, everywhere else, he's gonna end up on that back page. AA Ron, where are you right now?
I don't understand him. And it's not from lack of trying. Because I try to understand, brother. Like, I try to give him credit and go, okay, he out here just being single and trying to make it work and otherwise. I was hoping his entire mission would be to win a Super Bowl. Like, that's the Brett Favre kind of, hey, I made some mistakes. Now let me go and finish on the high note. That's the John Elway. Hey, I was selfish and about me. Now I'm going to lead, and they'll rally and do it for John. Right? We've had those. Do we expect Aaron to finish on top?
No.
No.
Let me ask you guys: Do you guys? I think he's went on. Before the last couple years in Green Bay, I felt like he was looking for the big play too much. Do you think he's lost, or do you project that he lost any talent throwing the ball? Because when he throws the ball, man, When he's on, it's on. I mean, I like it. Do you think
he
he's lost a
throws-
little?
No. I think throwing the football's never been Aaron's problem.
Right.
It's
But
that-
Father Time does.
Well, it takes it away, but from every report from receivers and coaches in New York, no, he hasn't lost it. That isn't his problem. Now you've taken away that hinge because we don't know what the wheels are going to do. But Aaron Rodgers' key was two things. One, his ability to lead. If he was apex leading, they were going to do well.
Right.
He couldn't do that or didn't do that last year.
Right.
And the other part of it is then in those moments, can he be fluid enough to move the 3 steps to get the first down and then give them a new set of downs?
Yeah.
That really, that defines him. The off the field stuff is always weird with him. It's never that he's focused on the game. It's never that.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he does.
Text line Joe B asked, how did Rodgers work for so long in Green Bay? He never reminded me of a Packers type guy.
He won.
Because he won.
He won.
And he was off the beaten path.
And it's Green Bay. Yeah, that wouldn't have gone
anywhere
in
else.
New York
Yeah.
or LA or other. It had to happen in Green Bay.
And also, what you have to, Joe B, you have to understand, when he played for the Packers, rightfully so, the GM and those guys were the enemy. Mike McCarthy, numerous, game situations, not surrounding him or drafting him with, or drafting enough offensive help. They've developed Devontae Adams, but nothing else. And then they let a lot of their really good players go. So really, Aaron Rodgers he was, DP in wrestling versions, right? He was on the shelf. He was probably working his way up. Okay, Brett Favre leaves. Brett Favre didn't leave on the best terms. So now you're the hero, right? You win a Super Bowl, you're a hero. Aaron Rodgers had a little bit of downturn when he kind of started to be more vocal about things going on in the organization. So he kind of, I'd say in wrestling terms, turned heel. But then he turned back to the hero because they needed him. And then also the fans started to believe they haven't been drafting well.
Well, I mean, Favre was never a team guy either. Favre was the Favre guy.
Yeah.
He just had people around him. Again, Reggie White has to come in and be Reggie White as the overseer.
Yeah.
If you don't have, who's the overseer in New Jersey?
Robert Saleh, taking receipts.
Yeah. Yeah, but he can't take on the
he can't take anything.
He can't beat those. He can't stop those Buffalo defensive ends.
Yeah, he's just Robert Saleh is hoping everything works out right so he keeps his job, and he's a great dude. On the flip side, talking about Aaron Rodgers being, a little weird. Here's the funny story about my man from the Browns, Lonnie Phelps. He got waived. We had Nuri on yesterday, DP, and it was awesome just because, Nuri, I asked him about the playbook and, so forth and so on. I mean, you thought you had a playbook in college. This is different.
Got real.
Right. And one of my few tips that I gave to Nuri is, listen, if you're supposed to be a certain weight, come in 200. You want everything when they talk about you. You want it to be in the positive column. Well, the Browns had a young little defensive end outside linebacker named Lonnie Phelps. My man was a little bit twisted and said, I'm gonna drive my car right through this bistro. I want my drive. I want my drive-through. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if there's a way to kind of, and this isn't funny because somebody could have got really really hurt bad, but I always think that the best thing you could do in the pros is be seen and not hurt. Is be seen on the field,
keep your head down,
in the locker room,
make plays,
right?
Go to bed.
Be seen, yeah, that's it.
Go to bed.
You go out and try to do too much, man. That never works out because in one thing I told Nuri is like, look, the difference between when you're in minicamp and training camp is different, bro. Don't think everybody's it's chill. Now you starting to play for real. And I said, listen, all them scouts that are at that practice, they looking how to replace you. And really every day is trying to work not to get replaced. And if you keep that edge, you'll be fine. But it's definitely, DP, it was funny talking to Nuri just because he's going through the NFL experience and saw people get cut and stuff like that.
I'm proud of him because he's been through a lot here. He's been through a lot. Nori's journey was not a straight line. Not a straight line. International, end up in Beatrice, get through, go to Colorado State, and come to Nebraska, stub your toe a couple of times, bump your head, and then still manage with all the turmoil and chaos around you, still become a valuable asset.
Yeah.
And such a good young man.
Yeah.
That you can root for him. It's easy to root for Nori. He looks good. Like he walked in and I was like, yeah, you don't look like the kid that was here 3 years ago.
Right.
So he's actually taking it seriously.
Yeah.
And giving himself an opportunity. And then here's what happens. The NFL recognizes, again, as it internationalizes its reach, that they recognize he's a valuable asset.
Sure.
Like having Nori as an ambassador is never going to be a bad thing. So to see him put in the work and to see him have that focus and be proud of himself, like that's a kid that wants to work and enjoys the work. And that's why he's easy to root for.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a good opportunity, and I think a lot of these guys that are, presently in college football or in particular at Nebraska have I wouldn't say an easier path, but they have definitely more options. I mean, with the, there always was the Canadian Football League, and we've, had Yoshi in here and different players that were really good. At Nebraska, went up there and carved out and played some, a lot of years up there. But then now you have the emergence of the UFL where you're getting. It used to be, the XFL, that was like the funny type of gimmick type of league. You got former NFL head coaches, defensive coordinators, up and coming coaches, coaching you. And so those guys still have the connections, and you're getting live reps instead of getting 1 or 2 reps, at a mini camp or so forth and so on. So, when you're coming out there, I always, it's not where you start, it's where you finish, and every day you're on a job interview because, I was telling Nuri is like, numbers sometimes dictate why you don't make it. Right. And you see this in the NBA where, we got 14 guaranteed contracts. You had a good camp. We can't add another one. Sometimes that happens in the NFL. But I said, the pro scouts that are there, they all talk. So if you do good here and they get on the phone, you might end up in Seattle.
Well, he's a multiple position guy. He's
right.
a playbook guy. So he's going to get in. He'll get in film study. And we tell people, as long as you're doing that more than you're doing the other.
Oh, yeah.
That was the advice, was listen, sleep extra, stay in the playbook extra, eat less. Those are the things. Those would be good enough for Nori to have an impact.
Yeah, and I think it's a good place to go in New Orleans too. And they've shown, over time that they have taken either low round guys or street free agent guys like Nori and give them a legitimate chance and give them, more importantly, I was telling them, because they don't have as many preseason games, get all those reps you can when you do inter squad scrimmage, and then you'll get a lot of reps in the preseason game. So you're in a lot better position than you actually know you are right now. And so when you're training and doing all those things, you can keep that in the back of your mind. And while you're trying to seize the present opportunity, you still have places to go, because the hardest thing, the way the NFL used to be, since NFL Europe is no longer around, is if you didn't make a training camp roster, you could be a whole year before you even kind of get back into the into the system. Whereas like now, if you have a good training camp, it might not work here. You mess around and carve out and get vested. And next thing you know, you get your opportunity. A coach gets hired. Next thing you know, you're looking at 6, 7, 8 years in the league.
Good news travels. Bad news travels.
Right.
Be the earlier. Be the previous.
Yeah.
Whatever you are, people are gonna hear about it. Be a good version of it. That's how this will work.
Yeah. Don't be the guy that you have the reputation of missing meetings and being late and stuff like that. You don't want to do that. So, anyways, we're gonna take a quick break, put a bow on this bad boy on NBA Draft Night. Jay Foreman, DP Austin. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is Coach Bill Bush. You all know my passion for Nebraska. Having coached all over the country, I can honestly say there is no place like Nebraska. You know where there's also no place like? Midwest Bank. Midwest Bank has proudly served Nebraska for over 70 years, and they're located in 9 different communities. Midwest Bank is ready, willing, and able to meet all your personal, business, and agriculture needs. Your community, your bank, and mine, Midwest Bank. Find out more at Midwest Bank. Member FDIC.
Fox KFXL weather, sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today. We'll see decreasing cloud cover throughout the day with an afternoon high around 88. Tonight, a chance of showers and storms late, otherwise mostly cleared with the low around 66. Tomorrow, we'll see a chance of showers and storms throughout the day, the high around 83. Meteorologist Kyle Cook for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you looking to get into the electrical construction industry or wanting a new scene? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today. Gaina Trucking is hiring for heavy equipment operators and a heavy equipment mechanic. Working at Gaina Trucking is a great career with excellent team culture, with benefits package including competitive pay based on experience, health, vision, and dental insurance, and a 401k plan. If you're looking for a new job as a heavy equipment operator or mechanic, apply online at GainaTrucking.com or call 402-794-5000. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking.
The Mill Coffee and Tea, formerly with only 4 Lincoln locations, now 5 Lincoln locations. That's 25% more locations than there used to be. Can you even imagine a world where there's only 4 Lincoln Mill locations? Feels like ages ago. We were all so young then. The Mill on 11, located right alongside the 93.7 The Ticket Studios at 1040 O Street.
At Fairway Meat Market, your family. And as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Now, through June 30th, they have a special deal for ticket listeners only. Tell the Meat Market you'd like to try out their fresh pork and bacon patties. When you do that, you'll get 10 6-ounce patties for just $10 with a limit of 10. You must mention this and the ticket to get the deal. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center just south of 84th and Vanderbilt.
Highball Bar in downtown Lincoln is open and located just north of 11th and O Street. Highball Bar offers a vibe and atmosphere like no other, making it the perfect place to grab a drink or beverage. Highball Bar features great events such as Karaoke Sunday, $4 Cheetos on Mondays, Jack Daniel's specials on Wednesdays, and much more. Make Highball Bar your go-to spot after a hard day at work or on the weekend. Highball Bar, located at 122 North 11th Street in downtown Lincoln.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career? Or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeit. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back. Short segment. Jay Foreman, DP Austin, Old School. On this Wednesday hump day. You know, the one thing I was thinking about during the break is, and we talked a little bit about this with Nuri, DP. I told him, I said, once you get to July and 4th of July, that's like you feel like dead man walking because them days go by quick. Them days go by so
legs,
quick.
Man, trying to get to work in, sleep. Sleep.
Yeah.
Get your workout in, put good stuff in your body, go to sleep.
I was telling him because as excited as he is for it, I was like, listen, bro, this training camp 6 weeks. It's not like 10 days. It's going to be the longest season of your life, but it's always funny. It's like, you know, every year you talk to a football player when you start to smell football in there, your body starts to kind of it's just naturally, you know, you get ready around train, you know, your body feels it's football time, but reality sets in that it ain't happening. It's funny as you get closer to July 4th. I remember being in Houston and it hit July 4th, and I think we had to report like, you know, July 22nd. Those 18 days went by so fast. The next thing you know, when you said you're training, it's like, man, it's July 12th. We got 10 days. Next thing you know, we got 3 days. And then it's like that last day when you're packing up and trying to, you know, you're going to go off to training camp or whatever. You know, you wake up in the morning, next thing you know, it's night, man. It's, you know, you look forward to get the season started, but there's not a person out there that played in the NFL before the kind of new rules that look forward to training camps. A lot of days like it was yesterday and the day before, a lot of hitting, a lot of headaches. But you know, that's where you bond and hopefully, you know, come out on the other end.
Well, I mean, and they're going to Irvine.
Yeah, which is good for him because you're not in New Orleans.
Yeah, all the distraction, all the newness, all the, you know, trying to identify. But yeah,
It's the heat. I ain't worried about it. I mean, the training. First of all, if you're going out during training camp, you ain't worked hard enough.
True.
And because I'm talking about just being down in New Orleans, or was it Monterey or whatever it's called, where their headquarters?
Mm-hmm.
Their headquarters in Monterey, which is essentially New Orleans. It's hot down there, like blazing hot. Versus you get to go out there in California, you get that nice dry heat.
Different air, man. Different air in Irvine, California.
DB, I want to ask you real quick before we jump off air. The NFL season's coming. Give me one team that you think is going to surprise people this year.
I don't know if it's really a surprise, because they're bad teams, right? And in order for it to be a surprise, it has to be a bad team. So
right.
Last year, by definition, the Texans were the definition of a surprise team a year
ago.
Yeah. They're teams that I expect to do well. And then everybody else is kind of clustered in. So you say
better question is this.
Yeah.
What team that is expected to do well that you think won't?
Dallas.
They're all, yeah. I mean, that's a guarantee.
Dallas.
Yeah.
Dallas. It's a must win for a lot of organizations. This is a pivotal year. If you're the Browns, you've got to get it right. Patriots, you have to start over and rebuild it. Jets, who are you? Like, is Rodgers a thing? Is it not a thing? Buffalo, is Allen your guy? Is he really your guy? Like, is he? You gonna ride with him and let the wheels fall off, or have the wheels just gonna fall off and go? Philadelphia Eagles, is Jalen Hurts the third best quarterback in the NFC?
Yeah,
it's important because if he is, the Eagles are back up at the top of it. The Giants, I expect them to be terrible. I would hope that the Browns are better, but the Browns, Bengals, Steelers, like I think the Steelers will be better.
Yeah.
Like you have two different prototype quarterbacks under your wing in a system that kind of lends itself to not making mistakes.
Yeah.
So, okay, either of them come to the table and deliver. Nobody wants to play the Steelers with a good Russell Wilson or Justin Fields. So that's the team for me. That Pittsburgh, I kind of want to give Raf a shout out, but Denver seems to want to get in its own way. So I can't say Denver. San Diego was a player away.
Yeah.
San Diego was a player away. And I think those are the two that popped to mind, Steelers and San Diego, that they could sneak up. Well, I'm saying San Diego, it's Los Angeles, but I'm speaking of Chargers. So yeah.
I think the 49ers are still going to make the playoffs, but I think they're going to disappoint. I think with the whole Brandon Ayuk, they lost some pieces on defense. I think they're going to, I mean, you start to see you started to see them leak oil last year late, especially remember when the Cardinals came in with the ghost white and ran all up and down the field on them, and then they wanted to fight after the game and all that. I think I think there's some chinks in the armor there. So I think San Francisco is my team that I don't think is going to meet expectations. It's going to be interesting to me with that AFC North. What happens there, but I'm going to make my prediction here, and I want to make it 5:55 on June 26th. I think the Giants are going to be horrible again. Brian Dable is going to get fired, and their new coach is going to be no other than Bill Belichick for the next 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, I don't want that. I don't want Belichick on the Giants sideline. I don't want to do that because then that's going to make me really hate them.
I think that's going to happen. And the reason why is he's been there before, won championships. They'll need some respect, and he's a year out of football. He's having a great time right now. Big shout out to Bill Belichick.
I can see him.
The philosopher.
I can see
we're
him
bonding over philosophy.
The worst team in the black and blue division gets Belichick. I don't want a part of me would say, okay, he'll do that, but yeah, I don't know what Hoodie's doing. Hoodie's preoccupied.
That's what I'm saying. He's gonna be done, but he's philosophizing right now. You caught my man.
He's something.
But listen, I'll tell you one thing about Hoodie. He has not
something.
missed a day on the bench press. If you've seen him, my man been doing nothing but he been on that prison workout.
Mm-hmm. Well,
on the ring.
There's a reason.
Anyways, man, leave Bill alone.
I'm rooting for him.
He might.
It says the Wizards are trading Denny Avila to the Blazers for Malcolm Brogdon. It's begun.
Yeah,
it has begun.
That will put you to sleep. Anyways, J4 with DP, Austin, old school. I'll let you tomorrow.
Several irrigation contractors in Lincoln go out of business every year, leaving sprinkler system orphans, begging for service. The folks at Judson Irrigation shed a tear for these little fellas. They've been coddling these orphans for more than 40 years, from redesign, repairing,